Uh, you know what's
Hey,
weird?
oh,
I was gonna say, you know what's weird about Gotham Knights
yeah.
is how shiny all the suits are.
Mm,
You know, somebody in the shine department got a little out of hand.
yeah.
That's where all the graphical processing power went. It's just shine at the suits.
Hmm.
The
I don't
same
know.
way somebody got out of hand when they put nipples on the costume.
There was a lot of people who made that decision. A
Yeah,
long chain of people who were like, I want
over
him to be shirtless but not shirtless.
over a
'Cause
considerable amount of time as well. They
Yeah,
sat down.
decades,
Yeah.
decades, man. We're decades into the nipple decision.
Yeah.
I bet it was 95% George Clooney. He's like, I won't do it if there's no nips.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, sure.
The title didn't update on anything, so you're playing Returnal, Rhett? How do you,
Yeah.
how do you like it?
Yeah. It's good. It's good. I actually was playing with one of our viewers, one of our new fans the other night. He found the stream and then started playing. I didn't even realize there was a multiplayer mode in it. But yeah, he hopped in, and not that either of us are very good at it, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's about the friends you make along the way, not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
progress.
100%.
That's what I like most about that game. Like it doesn't matter if your run ends. You still feel like you're going somewhere, and you find a tape about what's going on.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's
maybe you run into the creepy ass house.
yeah, yeah. I've probably done 10-ish runs, and I want to say there hasn't been a single one where I felt like it was a waste of time.
That's exciting
cool.
stuff.
I had a lot of runs in Returnal that I felt like were a waste of time, but that's a personal point of view thing.
Did you finish it?
Fuck no.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, like again, only 10 runs in, that's not very much. I'm sure once the playthrough progresses, all my opinions on that will change.
It's just I played it for a few hours and I was like, oh no, it turns out this is not for James.
Yeah.
This is not his game.
One thing I need to
And,
keep reminding myself is that it works like Hades and that you dodge through attacks. I keep like trying to jump over them, but you dodge through most of the stuff. So
yeah,
I gotta like retrain my brain. I don't know why. I almost am like playing it like Doom as opposed to Hades, and I gotta break that.
oh, you can't have that.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So yeah,
I'm still trying to update this title. I think we got it this time. There we go.
When you go to restream, I know it's kind of weird.
One of the windows that pops up in OBS does not update the title despite what it says, but the restream channels window does. So
yeah. It's
we're living,
not entirely clear how
we're
it works.
learning. All's well that ends well, whatever, something like that. How are you guys? It's the future.
Oh my god, it is the future, and I'm doing. I feel fine.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. It's a great
It's been
song.
the end of the world
Nice.
for
It's
like
the
7 years
end of the world. It ended when you said goodbye. That's gonna get a copyright strike. That sounded exactly like the recording.
Something.
Yes, Rhett, that is precisely what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We did get a copyright strike in Russia.
We did, yeah. They can beat it. I reviewed the strike, and they can beat it. They can fucking kick rocks barefoot.
Okay.
I couldn't even identify.
What
the claim was.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Like, it's on some 21 Savage track that I used for one of our new shorts. Which, by the way, listeners, if you haven't checked them out, Press X to Podcast is now dropping shorts from our live streams. So maybe go and check those out. For
you heard it here
size.
first. Press X to Podcast drops shorts on live stream.
Yeah.
on their live stream. Yeah, shorts on. No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
just saying, you're dropping shorts.
We're
you said
dropping
it.
shorts. Yeah.
You said it. We agreed with it. We
Check
all
the
confirmed it.
Yeah.
Shit is happening.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, boys.
It's been a while since we did this. Does anyone remember how to podcast?
I don't know if I ever knew how to podcast. So we are in
Man.
the clear.
Based
Okay.
off my last performance, I'm not sure if I ever knew how.
You had a case of the sleepies.
Yeah, you're a
Oh,
sleepy
man.
bear, bud. You're
Yeah,
a
that's
sleepy bear.
Yeah, that's a yeah, a lesson in what not to. Yeah.
It's all good.
Certain combinations of
Yeah,
recreational
exactly. A
activities
lesson in what
add
not
up
to,
to
mix.
make strange bedfellows, witches brews, that sort of thing.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't really want to mix flamingos with anything. So,
No.
did y'all play any video games?
Yes.
Would you like to discuss video games here on
Always.
season 6 of Press X to Podcast? Season 6.
Yeah, man.
Can you believe it?
Six seasons in a movie, but not that. Just 6 seasons. Maybe more seasons on top of the 6 seasons, but no movie.
Let's
Yeah,
get
I
a-
play games.
let's
I
get a
played the
movie.
fuck out of some games.
Okay, what'd you play?
Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, the preview embargo went up, I don't know when. By the time I got the code, there was no embargo for the preview, so we're in
Sick.
clear. It's cool. I don't really know exactly how to talk about this game because I was reading through some other people's previews or just like getting some impressions from people. I was just curious to see what people thought of it. And I get the feeling maybe I'm not like tapped into the main vein when it comes to like what Fire Emblem is considered to be. You know what I mean? Like when people think of Fire Emblem, they think of a certain thing, and I apparently don't think of that thing. And it's very confusing. But there's the same rich combat system. You get to marry? I don't know. It's not marry, but you put a ring on. You put a ring on it, and then a ghost friend comes to help you out and makes you strong. And there's a bunch of them, and they all rule. And they change the battlefield so much to the point where you feel like you don't want to put anybody out in the field that doesn't have one of these sick rings on. And they're how you win desperate fights. It's great. And I will say though, and I've got a preview that's going to go up in the next day or so. I'll write up that talks about the same point. I don't feel like the story is quite as good as some previous entries in the franchise. Again, I don't know if I'm alone on this one, but I just feel like there's certain things about the narrative that are fucking goofy. And like, yes, Fire Emblem games are a little silly, but a foot was on the ground. 1 foot was on the ground at least. A few toes, maybe. But now it's just like, fucking man, I don't know. Like, you.
For a second
You know,
there, I
previous-
thought you meant like a severed foot was on the ground.
Oh, no, but also no. Okay, you know how in previous Fire Emblem games you have that ability to like turn back time to like fix any horrible fuck ups?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they made sure that it was a power that was introduced in the narrative. They're like, okay, we gotta have a story reason for this. But so far, the story reason is that you picked a rock up off the ground and it gave you the power to turn back time.
It's a little contrived, maybe.
It's so goddamn sweaty. And I want great things for this franchise. But like that and a few other things in the story maybe just real unimpressed, like introducing you to a character, and then that character dies in 10 minutes. Hey, player, don't you feel sad about this? No, I barely
Absolutely
know
not.
2 things about this person, and now they're dead. Oh, boo-hoo. And like, every person you meet is like tripping on their dick to like accommodate you and immediately loves you and is blown away by the fact that you exist. They like set you up as a character in such a way that like everyone you encounter is like, oh, holy fuck, it's you. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life. I can't believe I get to meet you and like touch the hem of your robe and like fucking sniff the air that you walk through. I'm like, fuck off, guys.
Hmm.
So basically, all you have to do to recruit people to your cause is like show up in the room, be like, "Hey, it's me. Do you want to join, please?" And then they say immediately, "Yes, of course." Oh my God, are you kidding me? And so it goes. It just feels like, and a lot of what you're doing in the story is like grabbing shit. Listen, fetch quest? Ooh, not a fetch quest. But you know how in like Zelda, where it's like get the 7 crystals, get the 8 instruments, get the 10 CVS receipts. And it's just like that's feels like a lot of the story is tied up in this like go and find a bunch of shit and win the day. And I'm just I
Yeah.
remember when you had to like go to war with your high school alumni 2 weeks after graduation in 3 houses. That shit ruled.
Yeah.
I mean, it just really makes me miss the fucking the difficult choices and the like interesting consequences of the previous main game in the series when it's basically just like a stock standard amnesiac super being fantasy fetch quest where I'm like, oh, I wanted more than this.
Is it the same
The
devs?
actual Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But like the actual combat rules, the fights are great. They're fun. The moment to moment action is good shit. There's a whole lot of side quest stuff to do if you're like into that sort of thing.
So
And yeah,
it's like Three Houses 2, just without the story. Basically the same game mechanics as that last game, or is
it yeah. Well, I don't know. My memory of that last game, like some of the particular details, is kind of fuzzy.
what was like 700 hours long.
Yes, it was.
A lot happened.
But I just mean like mechanical shit. Like I really appreciate the fact that they've never went back to weapons that run out of stamina and break and you have to repair them. It's just like you get this thing and it just works. Oh, that rules. And that's cool. And so far the super duper time crystal doesn't like run out of charges, which is great because the battles really fucking need it. And you have tons of side content shit to do if you want to, you know, fish or adopt animals or like have conversations with people that improve your standing with them or, you know, shop for shit. There's just lots of little things you can do between battles, and also the battles are good. I just think the story is worse than the previous one.
2 questions about that. Number 1, does not caring about the characters mean you're more likely to throw them into the fire to win a battle? And 2, does anyone say engage?
Oh, everyone says engage. Fucking everyone says engage.
Really?
I'm gonna.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Oh yeah. That you like. I'm playing it in Japanese, and so I don't. You know, my experience is going to be slightly different from a lot of our listeners / viewers. But whenever they do the thing with the ring and power up and go ghost marriage, they're like da 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 engage, and they yell it, and then it happens. They have a whole Sailor Moon transformation sequence, and it rules.
Nice.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and also personally, I think that the story versions of the characters and the real-time battle versions of the characters are like 2 different kinds of people, because like the people that I'm like going into battle with and trying to keep alive and like learning little details about in between fights, I care about those people. I don't really give a shit about their story. It was just like, oh, I'm a prince and I'm of age, so be careful, all of our parents. You're probably not long for this world. I don't know who's gonna die or not. I haven't gotten that far.
Mm.
But um, but like their story selves, I don't give a shit. But like these people that I'm fighting with, these people that I'm like trying to keep alive, that I'm like, having tea with and shit. I love these people. Do anything to keep them alive. Use that time crystal until it shatters into a million fucking pieces, just to make sure that one of these dumbasses, one of these beautiful idiots, doesn't wander into like a double tap fireball and get turned into a fucking crispy piece of bacon.
Yeah, I get you. So you're saying this is pretty good. You want to play a battle on the bus, but you want to button through the story before you get to work. So you're at another battle when you're going home.
Little bit. It's kind of early days. Like I haven't gotten to any big twists. I'm assuming there'll be twists. I'm assuming that things are going to go crazy. But like the initial stages so far of the story are pretty lame. And again, these are preview impressions. It's possible that in a week, my final reckoning with the game will be very different. But because like it could be just like a stock standard anime story where like it starts off predictable and stupid, and then it gets really intense and crazy, and things happen to people that you would never have seen coming, or it sucks the entire time, and there's only one way for you to find out.
Well, personally, I hope for you that at some point mecha are introduced into the mix.
I mean, maybe not that, but I'm hoping for something equally cool.
Okay.
That would rock. I'd love that.
I thought of mecha because I was thinking about Chained Echoes. I was playing that some more, and that's the one that's like Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because there's no level system. Like you don't level up. So there's no way to grind and get through things. You can grind and get money and buy better equipment sometimes, but a lot of the battles are very much more strategic. And there are mecha in that game, and the mechanics are totally different when you're doing that. It's pretty cool.
That intrigues me. I am generally not as good at the games where it's like you can't level grind, you just have to be smart at battles. I'm like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't played the whole game, but so far I find that even if you're getting stuck on a new enemy, because it does let you restart a battle and change your equipment and stuff without too much pain.
Okay.
Most of the time, the solutions, once you figure them out, you're like, oh, yeah, that's clever. So it's pretty good. Really like that game.
Sick.
I also played Skyrim. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I think I've seen it on a couple message boards.
Yeah, that's really not the interesting part. But the interesting part is why I was playing Skyrim, and that is that
Okay.
I was reminded of Skyrim while I was playing Elden Ring, which
Right.
I played quite a bit more of.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, the horse is a game changer.
Yeah. You can do outdoor boss battles on the horse.
You can do some indoor boss battles on the horse, I discovered. If you're really clever about it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did on my first pass.
Nice.
So I'll keep going. I like you said, James, leaned more into the exploration and just kind of seeing the world and going and checking out what's out there, and that is much more engaging than how I had tried to play it, which was like Bloodborne, where this is the path that I've been thrown on, and this is the way I have to go. But there's a lot of laterality there, and it's good shit. Got a staff shooting little blue magics all over the place.
Yeah.
I killed a pumpkin.
Glintstone. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Glintstone
That was good
pebble
stuff.
Shots. You can't go wrong with the Glintstone Pebble.
Yeah, that's what that is what it's called. Yeah. So I'll probably keep playing that.
Sick.
What'd you play, Rhett? We talked about Returnal. What else?
What else have I been playing? GTA 4 on stream.
Mm.
That's a brand new game. The story of Nico Bellic. Yeah. Come along and watch me play GTA 4 for the first time, mind you. Yeah, discovering everything for by far the darkest of all the GTAs.
Oh, easily.
It's at times I'm like, holy shit. I've never seen anything like this in Grand Theft Auto. It's too bad that it kind of got a bad rap for its, I don't know, less than desirable driving mechanics at times. I'm playing it modded, so I've installed a patch that fixes the driving somewhat. I don't really know how much since it's my first playthrough, but I mean, it feels pretty good to me. Amongst a few other things, some shader patches and whatnot that make the game look a little bit different.
Nice.
Still looks pretty good for a 2008 game.
Oh man, it was revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah. It's a good time.
How do you feel about Roman?
Roman, I mean, I guess everything needs its comedic relief. I'm expecting Roman is gonna catch. He's been too lucky. He's been nothing but lucky so far, and like right down to Nico appearing on the shore to save him from Vlad and his horrible life that he's living. Yeah, Roman might say that he enjoys it, but at the end of the day, like he was on his way to he was into nothing good. And Nico came and saved him. And so I think that eventually his luck is going to run out.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about reluctant heroes in games and how that's a big trope, but man,
Yeah.
Nico, the guy's given no choice.
And
he's really pulled into it.
Right? He's given no choice. And then of course, the big thing that they drive home with Nico over the course of the game, like through all the side conversations and everything, what you really grasp is that he is a shell of a man. He is completely broken.
Yeah.
He is the last person. I mean, he's the first person you would want shoved into this sort of stuff because he's the guy, right? He's Agent 47. He's Solid Snake. He's Gabe Logan. You know, he's the guy that'll get things done. But at the end of the day, like he might be more broken than all of them. And what's it really doing to him? At what cost are we forcing Nico into this shit? It's dark, man. It really is dark. It's not like your fucking Vice City storyline where they just rip off Scarface. And don't get me wrong, like Vice City is still my favorite, but they humanized Grand Theft Auto with this entry more than any other.
Yeah, I think that's why GTA 5 is the way it is. You know, because of just how dark this one got and how gritty they went, they pulled it back.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
In 5. So we'll see what they do with 6. Completely online, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, that's
completely online.
Rockstar's gone far past the dump truck of money and is now on the towing barge of money, or the garbage barge. You know the kind. Just you see them like drifting by in the ocean. Look like they're about the size of a city block. Yeah.
Not usually piled with money, but
no.
Near Rockstar HQ, I'm sure that's what's happening. Seems like the logical way to store your capital. Cool.
It does.
Any other games to talk about? Or should we just like preview 2023 in its entirety? Every game that's being released.
Well, every good one, every cool one, everyone that we care about and fucking matters for whatever. Yeah.
Well, I pulled up a list from GameInformer.com. Usually that one's pretty up to date. And what do you say? What if you just go through this thing?
Sure.
Pull out anything that looks good.
Okay.
Did anyone play the demo for Forspoken?
I put a solid 11 minutes into it.
It was laughable. Laughable. Didn't want to say anything about it in the group chat because there were a couple people that seemed to be big fans of it. But
Okay, what were your gripes, bud? What curled up your butt about the Forspoken demo?
brutal voice work.
Oh, it's
Brutal.
rough.
Oh man, it has to be the worst I've ever heard, or right up there. It's horrific. Who did they hire, and why did they think that this was a good choice?
I think a lot of it has to do with the writing.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
writing
say,
it's trying to be
well,
as,
no, the writing is shocking, but the delivery is also horrific.
yeah.
There's nothing there that's good about this.
I mean, I'm sure there are established voice actors in there that can do good work. I just don't know what they were going for with this. Like, what direction were people given? You know, the main character sound like a teenager that was spoiled and doesn't care, but also got beat up at the playground.
Yeah, and that you want to kick in the fucking teeth. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a shame. As I did kind of like the gameplay. The moment to moment, as long as there's enough flexibility in the types of magic and the types of counters and all that kind of stuff to keep you interested along the way, I think it could be good. But you'd have to endure that story.
Woo. Rough.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the voice work will be fairly divisive, in that some people will care not a whit for the unique delivery and dialogue, and some people will find it grindingly unpleasant. And I'm kind of in the middle. I was pretty neutral on the voice, but I found the gameplay kind of pointlessly busy, or like the pacing was really fucked, or something about it just felt like they were like hitting you with as many fucking particle effects and all this shit as they possibly could to make it look really amazing. But then you get down to the mechanicals, it's like, what's actually happening? Oh, not a whole lot. But it
Yeah.
looks nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be one of those that doesn't. I think maybe that's why there's a demo. One of those games where if you play it for 30 minutes, you're going, oh, yeah, that traversal's kind of fun. And oh, that fire sword thing was sweet. This game must be awesome. And it's just more of that all the way through.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. It just. It didn't click, and I'm sort of struggling to justify after the fact why. But I think part of it was definitely like how exhausting the interface is, where you're just like mashing and crashing and bashing the whole fucking way, and after all that work you put in, a little tiny tick of damage goes off of the fucking enemy, maybe 2 ticks, and you're like, oh man, that felt worth it. And it's just like I can't fucking deal with a whole game worth of that, man. I just fucking can't.
A little too grindy, a little too bullet spongy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the poor man's Horizon. You know?
Yeah, actually, now that you say that,
Yep.
it could have been the template.
Potentially. What else is
Dead Space
big
remake?
in- Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good.
Or will EA get their claws in and
Oh,
let people down once again, right? I mean, they're
I mean,
not developing it, but they're
yeah, it's
sure.
it's a
publisher.
remake, so it's going to another studio. It will be difficult for them to stick their dick in this one.
Yeah, man, you say that though, but there have been examples.
Of remakes that they fucked up royally.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess not a remake, but I mean, I look at the Need for Speed franchise, and they have a different studio doing that, and it's gotten progressively worse ever since EA acquired them or acquired who is it, Criterion or
Whatever they're called now.
whatever they're called now. Yeah,
Yeah. Is it still
Yeah,
Criterion? Must be.
one of them, something with a C.
Brett, I try and take your driving game opinions with a grain of salt just because they are so incredibly granular and advanced. I feel like your grievances about driving games, like your skill with driving games, are on a level that I can't really approach. So I have to sort of like filter them that way.
Man, I'm just a Sunday driver, if anything. Like I'm just
I
casual.
How many wheels do you own, Rhett? How many driving peripherals do you have in your house presently?
Just two.
Okay, that's
Just two.
200% more than a great deal of the gamers that exist on planet Earth. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
No, but so what's funny about that is we were talking about this last time and why Need for Speed, you were mentioning why Need for Speed shouldn't be docked for not having wheel settings. The fact of the matter is every other driving game, including their biggest competitor Forza, has an extensive, thorough menu system that they use specifically for driving options, sliders and gauges and all kinds of shit. Forza is maybe Forza is not a good example because they give you almost too much in what you can
To,
do with the wheel.
to,
So
to put in
it's
perspective how passionate you are about driving games, there is not one anywhere in the January section of the releases, and we have now spent several minutes talking about them. It is remarkable, Rhett.
is Test Drive coming out this year? Test Drive Hong Kong.
I have never heard the name of this game before. You are going to have to field that one, Rhett.
Okay, sorry. Moving on. Moving on.
I mean, the problem with
If it-
those
Yeah.
Need for Speed games is they are all worse than Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. Man, you're not wrong.
The game
Because
still holds up.
they all do go for that same arcadey, like way faster than anything you would actually see in real racing sort of feel. And yeah, you're right. Burnout Paradise did it better 15 years ago.
So no real thoughts on the Dead Space remake.
Looking forward to man.
EA might screw it up.
EA, oh
Okay,
yeah, that's
sure.
why we yeah. So
Yes,
anyways,
okay.
EA, if it's anything like Need for Speed has become, then it'll probably be a letdown. I think that people are going to enjoy it though. I would bet. I think it's going to get higher rated and people are going to enjoy it more than Callisto.
Okay, I have one other thing on. Yes, it'll definitely be rated higher than Callisto. I have one other thing that I wanted to mention briefly on here, even though I don't know shit about it, is One Piece Odyssey, which I am extremely curious about because it is the first Shonen Jump game to come out in quite some time that isn't just a goddamn fighting game,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I can tell. My understanding is that it's an RPG. Now, it would be hilarious if, it comes out, it's like, oh, no, surprise, it's a fighting game with an RPG system sort of draped over top of it. Go fuck yourselves, gamers. I mean, that could happen, but like, the hope is that they actually make an RPG and do something different for the first time. And God, I want to say like 12 years. I don't know. I can't think of any other Shonen Jump games that aren't just fighters or fighting
Yeah.
RPGs.
I have no idea what this game is about, but part of me is wondering if it's not just a reskinned Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. 'Cause that was kind of RPG-ish, right?
Yes, the one that's coming out for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on the same day as One Piece Odyssey.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they are
maybe.
two very different games. I think every time they make a Dragon Ball Z game, the challenge is to see what sort of shape they can twist a fighting game into. Because there is no second thing you can do with Dragon Ball. And I feel like One Piece at least has a little bit more breathing room in terms of genre. So maybe that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's a bizarre franchise that deserves, like, it should be awesome games.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, should we talk about February, aka the month
Ye-
of Doom?
yes. Okay. Let's start at the top. We've got Hogwarts Legacy.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm
only
looking
ever
forward
in
to
the
it.
news for controversy reasons. So like mechanically, I don't really have any idea what's going on.
Every time they're releasing a feature video about this game, like they're doing a good job of hyping it up because it
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be awesome. But
Yeah.
also feel like it's potentially one that you want to wait for the reviews on.
Is that
Mm.
because they pushed back the release date a few times?
Not necessarily. I just could see it being a real clunk fest.
It's true. It's true. It could. It's just from the little bit I've seen, you get the impression that it's a real sink or swim situation. That either it's all going to line up and it's going to be rad, or it's going to be incredibly expensive dog shit.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Certainly not I.
Man, I
Avalanche
just
is
can.
making it.
Okay, that's a spark of hope. Yeah.
Just can't help but feel like they missed a big opportunity in not allowing multiplayer, not allowing online co-op. Like, how fun would it have been to give like a 4-player server the
Yeah.
opportunity to play all in one house, or you can each go to your own house? You know, oh, that would
The
have been a
fact
good
that
time.
there is no multiplayer does kind of speak to the fact that maybe the development was troubled because we're in the age of multiplayer and it's genuinely pretty weird to not have that included unless you're like, oh no, this is very specifically a single player experience, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's you get games that are like, oh no, this is definitely just you and your couch and your brain. Fucking go hog wild, baby. But like this feels like it should have had multiplayer, and the fact that it doesn't is potentially noteworthy. But again,
But
very curious to see what the reviews are going to look like when they drop.
yeah. But at the same time, Just Cause never had multiplayer, and that game really should have had multiplayer.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe this is just the company being like, well, no, we don't do that, but we could.
But there was also a multiplayer mod for Just Cause, so
Okay.
bide your time and someone will make that for Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Don't they still have one of the biggest maps? Was it 3 or 4? They still have one of the biggest maps ever
Mhm.
made in gaming. Like, yeah, it just demanded multiplayer.
So Atomic Heart is finally coming out in February.
Remind me what that is.
I don't know.
Is that
I've
the
seen a bunch-
follow-up to Valiant?
It's
No,
God,
what
what-
I'm
what's
thinking
even
of.
just-
They had a Valiant Heart announcement at the Game Awards, but it's not. I'm mixing the two up.
Yeah, God, you know, if neither of you know what this game is about, I'm doomed because I barely understand it. I just watched a trailer and was like, hey, it's got a pretty cool aesthetic vibe and it's first person and there's some robots and boy, that is about the extent of my descriptive powers for this game based on what I was able to like retain
Uh,
from the trailers.
It
But
looks
it
cool.
keep- Yeah.
Also,
it keeps
Mick Gordon is
up.
doing the soundtrack.
Oh, see, that's a point in its favor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Doom fame. Excellent.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, the guy who did the Doom stuff.
Excellent.
And
I want to go slightly back up the list to Deliver Us Mars, which is that one that has Arthur from Red Dead and Troy Baker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Story driven.
listed-
I don't know if there's any gameplay whatsoever, but with
Mm.
those two on board,
100%. 100%.
could be good.
Yeah, Roger Moore. Roger
No,
Clark.
that's James Bond.
That's arguably
Roger-
the best Bond.
Roger Clark.
Roger Clark, yeah. Sorry, Roger. But I mean, if you're gonna get mistaken for somebody, Bond isn't a bad candidate.
Oh, Roger Moore is a legend.
Yeah. Can't wait for Aka R on Switch February 21st. That's gonna be a banger.
That is what now?
I don't know. I'm just seeing it for the first time. here.
Okay.
But with a name like that, I mean, come on,
It's an
Atari. Yeah,
Atari
it's
game.
developed by
It's an
Atari.
Atari game, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hit the e-brake on this one before you go like.
Check your wheel settings.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But no, what we're really getting to here is maybe one of the biggest releases of the year is this PSVR 2.
Yeah.
That's huge. And with it, oh man, I can't wait for the Gran Turismo 7 2 update. Although I really am going to be curious to see the reviews on this PSVR 2 first to see if there's you know, the screen door effect from the first one or if they've cleaned that up.
I mean, from what I've heard from hands-on, I have not touched it myself.
Mhm.
It's I mean, it has to be similar quality to the first one to hit the price point.
Yeah.
But as far as the tech that's in there, it's like a level above the Oculuses of the world.
Okay.
Like the resolution is higher on the screens.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's like 2,000 pixels of fucking or 2,000 whatever per eye.
2023 per eye.
Yeah.
No, I'm making that up. That's the year.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be a big release.
And Resident Evil Village, same day for PSVR.
VR, man, exactly. There's going to be a lot of games that get that VR update that you are going to want to check out, especially Village, because I think still to this day, Resident Evil 7 is probably the best PSVR game.
It is
can get.
fucking terrifying.
It really
Seven
is.
was like
It really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
7 was like made for fucking
Oh,
VR though. 7 was perfect for VR. Village,
That-
I'm like not as certain it'll be good for that, but like 7 was perfect.
that's a good point.
I don't
That's a
know,
good
man.
point.
Getting stalked around the mansion by the lady. I don't know. That could be.
Yeah, that could be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Could be scary.
yeah.
Could be, something else.
Also coming out in February is the sequel to Octopath Traveler, which I've heard literally nothing about. I've seen one trailer. I will almost certainly play it day one just because it's Octopath and I fucking love the first game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
hard to
Bach.
screw up. They
It's
already
another
have
one.
the formula. They have the combat system. Just give us more.
I've been dying to play the first one, and now seeing that this one's coming out, it makes me want to play that one even more, so I can play this one.
I think it's on
Well,
Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. 2 questions. Is this going to be connected to the first one in any way?
It doesn't seem like it, just
Okay.
because the setting is very different
Yeah.
from what I can tell from the trailer. They've either they're doing a leap forward in time, or it's just like a wholly different world.
Mm-hmm.
But again, one trailer, so I could be wrong.
And is this coming to Game Pass? Looks like it's actually not even
Not
coming
even
to
on
Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh.
So
Dang.
just PlayStation, Switch, and PC.
What is coming to Xbox, despite them being owned by Sony now, is the new Destiny expansion, Lightfall.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
it's all neon looking. I'll probably
It
pull me
is.
back in.
I gotta say, yeah, it's the first expansion in years at this point where I've seen and I've been like, I kind of want to try that. Hate to admit it.
The mechanics are just so damn good.
I like how this article here still has Stadia listed as being a recipient.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming up for Stadia,
Yeah,
boys.
that's not gonna happen
Well, maybe they'll unkill it.
for a day. Yeah, they'll unkill it.
All right, Stadia owners, you can have it back for like 24 hours just to play a little bit of Destiny, and then it's fucking gone again.
Yeah, baby. Oh, that Wo Long then in March, early March. I'm curious about that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of got the Sekiro feel to it.
yeah. Team Ninja.
Yeah,
Is
Looks pretty
it'll be
cool.
like Neo.
Yeah, yeah, it looks pretty nice. The graphics are insane. Some of the stuff they've released looks crazy good.
Sick.
And also in March, we'll be getting maybe Skull and Bones finally.
Ubisoft,
It is
finally.
it is literally coming up on 7 years since I first saw that game at E3.
And yeah,
Oh my god, that's right. We were there when it debuted.
Yeah,
Holy
they had the boat and
fuck.
everything.
Oh,
They had
man.
an actual ship set up.
They had a pirate ship, yeah. With like,
Wow.
the cannon doors
Yeah.
inside there, screens.
That's good shit. And be sure to get your Stadias ready because March 9th it will be launching for Google Stadia.
I'm so glad I have a Stadia.
Yeah.
I don't.
No one does, dude. It's not a real thing.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Yeah. So good. March. So February is going to be the month that we go through the first one right here on this channel. So come
Ooh.
along for the ride.
Yeah, have you not played it?
I've not played it. I spent maybe 3 or 4 hours with it a couple years ago. And I felt like I remember actually talking about it on this podcast, saying that I really felt like it needed the next gen patch. Frame rate was
Yep.
so wasn't happy with it. I've got the PS5 version now, especially since it is on the PlayStation Plus for the month. And I just went in and tested it out, and my goodness, it is so much more enjoyable with that buttery smooth 60 frames. So, yeah, come check it out February.
I can't wait to hear if the next gen patch fixed how the Wookiees look. Because wow, they looked like plasticine.
They look rough.
Woo!
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't know that was the thing. I'll have to
it's-
let you know how they look.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, RE4 remake that month, March 24th.
That's the big one
Boy.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one of the top 5 at least, maybe top 3 releases of the year. I can't wait to check that out. One that I won't wait for the reviews on. I'll be there at 9 p.m. Pacific. Play that.
I mean, they haven't messed any of them up yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
far the remakes have been real bangers, so I can't imagine it's going to be that fucked.
And especially like this one, it's held in a higher regard than the others, and I know that'll be a controversial statement. I know there are Resident Evil fans that love the first and the second games, but come on, the fourth one was the best, and I think this is going to be the best of their remakes. It's going to be the one that they put the most effort into. I feel like with 3, they kind of coasted on what they did with 2 just to get to 4. So that, they just wanted to hurry along and get to 4 because they were going to fucking drop a banger.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, given that for 2 and 3, when they remade them a la Resident Evil 4. What do you do for 4 then?
Make it
what's your remake?
like 7.
Ooh,
First person mode. Ooh, it'd be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, shit, you go into the Resident Evil 2 and 3 like Vortex mod forums, there's all kinds of first person modes for both games. So if modders are doing it, the devs can certainly get a proper first person mode in there.
Okay.
What about April?
Oh,
April.
we're getting that PS4 drop on the Hogwarts Legacy.
Man, that
Can't
is
wait.
gonna run like ass.
Just wrote about how these developers have been handcuffed by the last gen systems, and yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe this game is getting a last gen release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. There's some. Well, we're finally getting Dead Island 2.
Can't wait for it.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
don't have any.
Can't wait
I
for
don't
it.
have any emotions for it. It's just
Yeah,
It's like it's happening. Okay.
I know the first one was nothing special, although that trailer, that initial trailer they released, will go down in infamy as one of the greatest ever. But yeah, it was just a fun time, you know, full of glitches, full of bugs. Some worse than others. You know, a lot of them just ended up being fun. Like you could multiply weapons really easily, or like do massive amounts of damage if you did A, B, and C. I can't wait for Dead Island 2 though. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun getting in there with a group of 4, and the visuals look nice. You know, it's like a nice kind of getaway game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be some good nonsense.
What's this Burning Shores here? Horizon is getting some DLC.
Yep.
Seems like it.
I mean, they're following video game logic in that there has to be a fire level. You know, they did ice with the expansion for Zero Dawn. Now they're doing fire.
Next will be the sewer level.
I can't wait.
Yep.
That's going to be really good, the sewer one.
Always the best part of every game.
It surely. Just 2 items in May, but they're both pretty big deals.
Yeah, 2 confirmed. Zelda?
Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th, which is going to be just more Breath of the Wild. So I don't give a fuck. Sign me up. Plug it into my veins, baby.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, Breath of the Wild is still the game that if someone is still for some reason trying to buy a Switch, you tell them to get Breath of the Wild.
That's right. You say, listen, bud, you hook that up, it's going to change your life.
You've never Zelda'd so hard as this.
Yeah. I think they're probably going to introduce 2 new mechanics, maybe 3. 3's pushing it, but definitely 1 or 2. And just like a whole new set of maps. And it'll be great. It'll just be more Breath of the Wild. And I think they've correctly estimated how hungry people are for more Breath of the Wild.
Hope the Switch can run it.
Well, if it could run the first one.
Yeah, you would think. You would think,
Yeah,
but
you would think. Let's all collectively hope
you
the
know?
Tears of the Kingdom runs real well and they don't, stick their
Yeah.
dicks in it or anything.
Yeah. They'll get it.
Yeah, I
Suicide's-
can't see them messing that up.
No.
No, exactly. It'll have the seal of approval.
It's a flagship title,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. That's another one like you can be there at 9. Although I don't know if Switch does those like 9 p.m. Pacific releases, but you
They
can
do.
you don't need to wait for the reviews is what I'm saying. You can be
Yeah,
there at
I'm
9
not going to be
p.m..
waiting for the reviews.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on that shit like nothing.
No. And yeah, Suicide Squad looks way better than fucking Gotham Knights.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does.
Fuck. So yeah, I definitely want to check this out.
Well, Suicide Squad is made by the people who defined the Batman genre, and not
Yeah.
the people who piggybacked on it. That
Yeah.
being Rocksteady, the ones who made the last good Batman game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Rocksteady. And then, yeah, Rocksteady made the last shitty one Origins people. Some people like that, didn't they?
They didn't make Origins. That
Oh,
was WB.
Ah,
Control?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Origins, as the people who made Origins are the people who made Gotham Knight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brutal.
They made the cash grab ones.
Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's
brutal.
WB, so they're going to make the cash grab games.
Shocking.
That one's going to be co-op, right?
Yes.
Suicide.
Christ,
yeah.
I hope so. God, why would it not be?
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
really stupid
get
if
a
you
pla-
had a squad and you couldn't squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But always look forward to being the bad guy, quote unquote. Especially if the subtitle is anything close to what the game is going to be. Can't wait to square off against the Justice League.
I
Mm,
want to bite off Superman's head with King Shark.
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
God, I
It's a good
want
time.
that so bad. I literally just thought of it, and it's like, hell yes.
Is Will Smith in that? Did they use
I think it's probably all new, just like regular talented voice actors.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can't really use Will Smith in anything nowadays, right?
Well, no, he's busy doing prestige projects. He's got shit happening.
Yeah,
He's
and he's
doing-
he's busy beating the shit out of comedians on stage.
Well, I was gonna say he's busy doing that weird project for Apple TV Plus. That's like a color washed out, like I'm a slave and I'm gonna get free and I'm gonna go north and I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
change my life.
yeah,
One of these like
yeah,
movies that
yeah,
has Oscar bait basically in the subtitle.
yeah. That's shit that nobody watched. June though is looking pretty big. June's a big
Mhm.
month.
Those are three big heavy hitters.
Big heavy hitters, and I mean, are you guys gonna play Street Fighter 6? Are you guys fighting game fans?
I have one. My best friend and I play fighting games together, but if it's not with him, I don't generally play fighting games.
I
So
don't
kind of.
Yeah, I don't love straight up adversarial online.
Yeah.
You know, people just get too into it and too
They get too good, man. Exactly. If you don't make it a day job, it becomes difficult to compete.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
like if it,
that's one thing. I'm okay with getting schooled by somebody who's really good at the game. It's what comes along with that, you know, and a lot of the cheap shots and
well, maybe we should set up some sort of fight nights on the channel when this comes out. Check it out.
yeah,
See
be
how
alright.
it goes.
Yeah. Fight with people who aren't complete pieces of shit.
Exactly. I'm sure there'll be other staffers from COG that'll be playing. Sure, we'll know a couple people, one or two at least. That'll.
If the
Cool,
fireball
like-
motion is all you know, that should be good enough.
It's interesting that they say that they're taking complicated inputs and mapping them to one or two buttons for beginners. Like there will be a total rookie mode where you can come in and actually compete. So I mean that'll be interesting. I mean I'm sure you'll be able to filter those people out real quickly, but yeah,
I
it'll be
think-
interesting.
It's probably like having like a grab or a throw button. Because like generally in Street Fighter, that's like, oh, you do this, or you press this button, or you'll have
Yeah.
like a fireball button or something. I could see that.
Yeah.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with a fireball button.
Yeah.
That's all right. And then Diablo 4. It's gonna
I
be
don't-
good.
I don't like myself for saying this. I'm gonna play the fuck out of it.
Man, seriously, I've heard nothing but good things. It looks fun. It looks crisp and crunchy, and I want it.
Yeah. I just act like that because I'm a pure Diablo addict,
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, we released a new, better heroine. Aren't you excited to try this new, better heroine? And I'm like, no, but also yes.
Straight up. At the end of the day, like people were like boycott these motherfuckers for Diablo Immortal and everything, but Diablo 4 drops. You all are gonna be there front and center, and I'm sure you're all gonna love it. I'm sure you're all going to love it. I'm sure that it's gonna do everything that Diablo Immortals didn't do.
And
Well,
Maybe a-
Diablo Immortal didn't really do anything, so that's a pretty low bar, bud.
Yeah.
but
That's
also
fair. That's fair.
for as bad as Blizzard has been to its people, I'm sure there are hundreds and hundreds of people who worked very hard on Diablo 4 and would really like you to like it.
What have they done?
I don't know. Social media, maybe.
I am assuming that, well, because I think the FCC actually blocked or is like moving to block the merger so that like Microsoft can't just close their fist around Blizzard and take it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, because I was like, oh, it's definitely going to be on Game Pass, right? Because they're just going to own that company. I'm like, maybe they're not going to own that company.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
That
a good
whole
point.
lawsuit thing is just fascinating. Given that
Yeah,
you know,
well-
Sony's trying to convince the court that they suck, and Microsoft is trying to convince the court that Sony is God. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Another game coming out in June that I'm probably just gonna play is Final Fantasy 16.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't see it coming out for PlayStation 4 either, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
I kind of see this one like the reset. You know, they strayed away from what made the series so memorable. In in the 13s and in 15, they were getting way out there. This could be the next Final Fantasy 9. That is,
Yeah.
it's a medieval setting. It's a fantasy game. Let's have fun. And this story looks like it exists, which is great.
It looks, yeah, it looks like standard Final Fantasy stuff. I'm sure it'll be very intense. I think the fact that they like basically tell you about the first big tragic plot beat right in the trailers is like, oh, it's gonna get way more intense. I think if they're just letting you have that morsel, probably they're hiding like some really raw shit happening.
Yeah, they're already pulling out the big guns of, here's your 1,000-foot Titan fighting something. Like, they've got bigger than that.
Yeah.
They're not showing off. So I'll definitely play that.
And then in July we have Hogwarts Legacy again.
For the Switch.
What? Oh, for the Switch. Now that's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. I'm gonna get all of these. And yeah,
Yeah,
Switch.
Of
Man,
all the ones that run badly, that will be the badliest of all.
that's gonna be fucking fire. I can't believe it's even coming out to the Switch. That's insane.
It's going to be like, you know how bad The Witcher 3 was on Switch?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
half that resolution and half that
Exactly.
frame rate.
They're underestimating the extra time they're going to need to optimize this port. They say July, but it's going to be July 2024 and several patches later before it's running at anywhere near a respectable frame rate.
I can see
Yeah.
the news articles now. Switches literally melting in children's hands.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Chemical burns, batteries are exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, just listen. If you send a message to Nintendo that you can't port games to their system anymore, maybe they'll come up with another fucking system.
Yeah.
This has to be the year, right?
gotta be.
Right? 2023 will be the year that they like acknowledge that another one is coming, but like, I don't know, man.
I don't know if they do that before they actually unveil it though.
Yeah, it's true because like the time between hey the Switch exists and hey one's in my hands was something like 2 months.
Well, I what makes me think that it's coming is Zelda.
Yeah.
There's always a cross-platform Zelda. So,
Yeah.
it's dropping on Switch May 12th. Maybe sometime around there is when Switch 2 gets revealed, and it's coming out in June or something. That's a Nintendo thing to do.
Yep.
Do they have any sort of like conference? Any sort of show announced for the months leading up to the release?
Oh,
Not that I know
no,
of.
they don't really do that. They'll just do Nintendo Directs whenever they feel like it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I
Yeah,
guess,
they don't go to shows anymore because they're too big.
Yeah.
They are too cool.
Oh my
In the
God,
to
look
be
at the
announced
rest of this
section,
shit.
there's lots.
Jesus Christ.
Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. I'd be surprised if we saw that in 2023.
Seems like a stretch.
Yeah. Like,
What's interesting on that whole list of things with dates announced, almost no first party from Sony and no first party from Microsoft.
Oh yeah, because we're supposed to be getting Starfield this year, right?
Yeah, I assume that's down here in the S's somewhere.
Yep. Correct. Starfield, Xbox Series XS and PC. And
I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's going to be a good time.
yeah,
I mean,
now that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, they're probably probably cracking the whip a little bit and being like, "No, you can't just release a half-finished game, you fucking goblins. Make it right."
That's a good call.
Oh, it's
But
still gonna be it's still gonna be an absolute bug fest. But
100%,
Well,
like
that's
everything else. But
that's what I'm
Paul,
saying.
I,
They've never released a game under the clawed foot of fucking Microsoft before. They're probably like, it's good enough, right? And they're like, no.
oh, I don't know. Microsoft let Halo
That's-
Infinite out the door.
that's a good point. That's a very good point.
They had no choice though.
But I think I agree with you, Paul. Is that I think that it's gonna be fun regardless. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I mean,
Just like Fallout 4 was, despite all of its issues, just like fucking Fallout, 3 and New Vegas were.
yep. They're definitely overpromising with the thousands of planets. A lot of those planets are going to be basically the Fallout 4 go help this settlement quests in planet form.
Mm.
That's
But I
exciting.
think the stuff that's handcrafted is always pretty good from Bethesda. A lot of the main story stuff is usually pretty well done. Often you have some interesting choices to make. I'm curious to see what they do with the sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
Hey, there's that test drive. Unlimited Solar Crown. There you go. I mean, honestly, they announced that one 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and it still doesn't have a solid release date. Like, that'd be another one that I'd be surprised to see this year.
Also like that it's skipping the PS4, but it is coming to Switch.
That's brutal. That's
Oh,
brutal.
man.
Like, as if
Probably a cloud version.
Oh, maybe.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes. That was another one. Another one of these asymmetrical multiplayer horror games that honestly looks better than most. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Redfall?
Redfall.
Oh yeah, that's the other one that like,
That's the one Arcane's making, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, the trailers for that one do not excite me in any way, shape, or form. It, I don't know. It looks like your generic. Here's a bunch of different heroes with a power that you might use once in a while, but it's mostly a shooter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Arcane games are always fun. So maybe it'll be good.
The Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Definitive Edition. That's nuts. Why are they releasing that?
How about Pepper Grinder for Switch and PC?
That's got to be a game about giving a BJ. That's got to be one of those.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, Oh yeah, Payday 3 recent announcement. Payday 3.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the mobile
Pepper Grinder is a Devolver Digital side scroller.
Oh.
Just to, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's
my
not,
bad.
It's not about an old fashioned in the fucking back of the Buick. It's a side scroller.
Yeah, baby. I did see Spider-Man 2 in there as well.
Oh,
that
for sure, at
That
some
doesn't have a
point.
Yes.
solid release date, but yeah, that's one of those.
Jesus. Yeah,
PMers.
at some point.
Yeah.
There's a fucking.
Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
James.
I was gonna say there's a fucking RoboCop game coming out at some point. RoboCop Rogue City,
Nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
starring Peter Weller.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that'll be sweet.
Huh.
I also saw Wolf Among Us 2 down there. I'm gonna be interested in
Yeah,
that.
one of the better Telltale series.
Yeah.
I'm curious if we're gonna see anything out of that Insomniac Wolverine game.
Oh yeah.
Feels like they're gonna be focused on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're gonna get that done, and then it's gonna be all hands on deck Wolverine.
Huh. Oxenfree 2. I like the
Ooh.
first one.
It was cool.
God, this is a long list.
It's crazy.
There's no
It's-
way that half of this shit comes out.
No.
If none of this has an actual release date as of January 9th, like there's no way that half of this shit comes out this year.
It is concerning that Starfield doesn't have a date.
I am Jesus Christ.
Yep,
And,
that's
and
coming.
yes, that is a game. No, that's not something
Yeah, you haven't heard about this one? They released like a little slice of it in early access or something.
No, it's been one that's been in development for some time. I remember hearing about this game 3-4 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah, the article connected to the listing here is from January 2020.
Yeah, it's been in development for some time.
Yeah, it's got to be coming out this year, though.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not mad at some of the footage that I've seen. I'm really not mad at some of the footage I've seen from it. Hopefully we get a Hollow Knight Silk Song release date.
Jesus Christ, hopefully.
Please.
I mean, people have been saying that for how long now? As long as I Am Jesus Christ has been in the news.
Oh, longer than that, man.
Yeah.
They claim that FF7 Rebirth is coming out.
Next year, this year?
Well, it's
This year.
It's TBA, but it's on the list here.
Oh, that's 2024 for fucking certain.
Is that supposed to be like part 2 of the remake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as if they're dropping 16 and Rebirth in the same year.
No, fuck
Very
no.
good point. Very good point. How about Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm gonna be curious. I'll have to get a Series X by the time that comes out. I'll be curious to see how it runs on it.
Yeah. That one, it feels like, they knew GT7 was coming out, and then, like, we have to wait.
Yeah.
We've got to take that game apart if we want to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a good
Um,
amount of time that's passed too. Like they've had a good amount of time
Oh,
to
yeah.
dig in there.
From Software is making that Armored Core 6.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
coming out
yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, the game that had Jeff Keighley, he was like in tears when he was announcing that FromSoft, then when he was announcing that FromSoft was going to be announcing their new game, which turned out to be Armored Core. Man, Keighley, I don't know if he's just a fan of FromSoft or a fan of Armored Core, but yes. The next one is coming apparently.
They're
20
they're pretty dope games if you're into making giant mechs blow shit up.
Yeah.
Can't remember what system the first one I played was on. Probably PS1.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But man, did I jet dash that mech around a lot and have absolutely no idea what was going on because it was just pixels everywhere. It's a good time.
Oh, and the last Assassin's Creed game is coming out.
Mirage?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the
another
last one?
Yeah.
No, and officially it's not. But the way they're talking about it, like from a design perspective and like what they're trying to do with the project, it's it's one of those things that's like, oh, it's a live service Assassin's Creed. They never need to make another one. It'll be like Grand Theft Auto Online, where it'll come out and they'll be like, oh, sweet, people like this and they respond to it well. We don't ever have to make another Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Mirage is going to be like a hub essentially
Yeah,
for everything Assassin's Creed moving forward.
yeah.
I
so, like,
honestly I think it's what every sports franchise should do.
Yeah, absolutely.
it
you
should,
know?
yes.
Yeah.
Even if that's the last Assassin's Creed game, I have no doubt that Ubisoft will continue pumping out games in that formula, like Valhalla.
It's like the only kind of game they know how to make now.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I heard recently that they're going to show off the open world Star Wars game they're making, which will definitely be Assassin's Creed Star Wars.
Wait,
Yeah.
Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game?
Yeah.
That's right, because EA, yeah, they fucked off with the license. They,
Yeah, they did.
The-
They screwed up too many times.
yeah, That's
So-
good shit. But you're right, as if it's not just Star Wars with a million icons on your map.
Yeah, the quote I read was an overwhelming amount of content.
Cool. That's already every Ubisoft game. You're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
getting
So that's how I know it's
yeah.
the same.
anything.
Hearing that is like getting punched in the stomach, I have to say. It's
But at
No,
the same
hearing
time,
that,
if
hearing
you-
that a star.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say hearing that is like hearing that the next Old Republic or High Republic Star Wars game is gonna be made by fucking Quantic Dream.
Oh
You're like,
God, they are making a Star Wars game, aren't they?
they are, and it's gonna be something.
I can't wait to see what kind of missteps they can make in the Star Wars universe.
How will David Cage fuck this one up?
But again,
Uh,
like with that Ubisoft one, I feel like I'm more interested in a Star Wars world with lots to do than another go assassinate this guy.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
true.
You know,
Mhm.
throw me down in the middle of a gritty Star Wars city and tell me to go find a bounty hunter and kill him. Like, that sounds better.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
That
would
does.
you would you hope to see characters that you already know and are familiar with, or would you want it
Nah.
to be entirely original?
New shit, new shit, new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see familiar characters like making a cameo,
Brief cameo.
but would want to see it totally
Yeah.
out to lunch.
Hades 2 is not on this list, is it? I think they actually
Nope.
said 2024 in the announcement trailer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's all right. I want them to get that one right.
Yeah. They will. That's another
Yeah.
company that the stamp of approval will be on it.
Zero misses in their history.
Yeah.
Every single game they've made has been outrageous.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it? Probably not. I'm sure we missed a lot
mean-
of things.
Yeah, listen, there's a bunch of shit in here. It's gonna come out. It's gonna rule. I don't know what else to tell you.
We're going to talk about it
Um,
when it comes out because
That's right.
in all likelihood, at least one of us will have played the things that matter
list.
from this list,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
like Pepper Grinder.
Yeah.
Rhett's going to play that extensively.
Oh yeah, that game about giving a BJ. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's the
I'll
one.
check that out for sure. God damn it. Switch and PC. Okay. Good to know I have options.
Yeah, always know where your next Pepper Grind is. Cool. Should we get out of here?
Please.
I think we can, yeah.
All right.
The pepper's been grinded.
Really? While we were podcasting. Son of a
Yeah.
gun.
Fool me, man.
Wait, no, no. Damn it.
All right, that's it. Before we get banned
Yeah.
from the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been the first episode of season 6 of Press X, the podcast. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.